Howdy y'all and welcome back. So this video was supposed to be a range report about how I reconfigured L7 here. Got the new Midwest Industries handguard on it, little A2 birdcage just barely poking out of the end. And I had mentioned I expected it to just blacken my light and really mess up the whole front end. And I'm happy to report that it did not do that. However, what this video has turned into is sort of a PSA for anyone who has the second generation of Rocket Armory lowers, be that a Rocket lower, an LGO lower. I'm guessing this also includes the LGC lowers that went out a little while ago. Most of y'all have probably already figured this little pro tip out. If you've already built yours, you may have learned the hard way. But if you have not started that build yet, there's a pretty important little key feature that I want to point out to you. So let's take it over to the table and get a close look at Snowflake 74 before I send it away. Let's go check it out. So the point of concern here, and I already have this one all assembled, and I'm not going to disassemble it to show you, but I think you should be able to get an idea just looking at it, is the bolt release or bolt catch. Those of you familiar with normal AR lowers would know that normally the portion here of the lower itself that holds the cross pin would be open on both ends. And this lower is configured in sort of the Aero Precision manner where it is closed on this end, open on this end, and if you look in there, there are threads. So this is a threaded pin from Aero Precision that I have affixed in here, and it will not come out. There is also, and I pointed this out on my socials, but there's also a hole right there that you can just barely make out. And in that hole is a screw with a nylon tip that comes up. You use a little Allen wrench to tighten it, and it will lock very, very snugly into the lug from your upper as it comes down. And that helps remove any wiggle that you may have if your lower and upper aren't exactly jiving together. Okay, but this guy. So my buddy Brandon came over the other day and we put together his Snowflake lower, and I did not have one of these screw-in guys. So I just used the standard pin and tried to like tap it in there. And that lasted all of about like 20 or 30 rounds at the range, and then it disappeared and his latch started falling out, and he found the plunger, and we actually ended up finding all of the parts. But the point there being, it needs to be assembled with the proper screw-in pin, not a traditional punch-in pin. And that cross pin can be found through Aero Precision. A good idea is just pick up an Aero Precision Oops kit. The newer Oops kits come with 2 of these, along with, I think, 3 of the spring that goes in there behind there. So if you may have already lost one, it's always nice to have 1 or 2 extra. So that is the pro tip of the day. All right, so other than his bolt catch, bolt release, just kind of going AWOL on him. Other than that, Brandon's 11.5 BCM build came out super, super cool. He was even getting hits out to 100 yards with his MRO on there, and that ain't too shabby. And I took this dude out to 100 yards for the very first time ever. You saw it there in my intro clip. So I zeroed it. After putting this all back together, I had to re-zero at 25 yards. Shot probably the best 3-shot group, also showed there in my intro. Best 3-shot group I've shot in like forever, so yay for that. And as you can see on that 3-shot group, I was off to the right just a skosh. Well, when I took it out to 100 yards, that ended up being off quite a bit of a skosh. And so got it dialed in at 100 yards, just in time for training next month, so that's super cool. I am blind as shit at 100 yards. And the little Cyclops, although this is not magnified, because it has the adjustable diopter, I was able to bring the target into focus, which was pretty cool. So I was able to get a like dead center bullseye hit at 100 yards with this guy, which for me is a big deal. I know for a lot of y'all that's like, yeah, I do it with iron sights on my Mosin. Speaking of Mosins, we had Igor out there with his Mosins, and my teeth hurt still a little bit, but that's always fun. And anyway, it was a great day at the range, and I'm super pumped about this guy, super pumped about Brandon's 11.5, and that's about all I got for today. Until next time, be easy, y'all.